There are so many things that you are suggested to put on a baby registry, and it is absolutely overwhelming to figure out what you actually need on a baby registry. If you're looking for a list of things that are actually useful in the first 6 months of life, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about my top baby registry must-haves from 0 to 6 months. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jenny. I am a teacher, mom, doctoral student, and also expecting baby number 2 literally this month. And in this video, I'm going to go over all the different things that I feel are necessary for 0 to 6 months. Now remember that every family is different, and some of the things on this list you may feel like you don't really need based on your own circumstances, and that's completely fine. I just wanted to give you a list of things in case you maybe didn't think of something to help you out with ideas for what you might want to put on your own registry. So this list is not going to include anything about a baby's sleep space. That's a really personal decision that you're going to have to make for yourself, whether you want to get a crib like this one or you want to get a bassinet next to your bed. So let's talk about sleep essentials other than the bed space. So my first sleep essential is actually going to be a sound machine. There's lots of different sound machines out there. There's tons of great ones. Personally, we really like the Hatch Baby Rest. The Hatch Baby Rest you can actually program. It has lots of different sounds and lights, and I really like it for Alice, and I like that it's also portable so you can take it with us on vacation for when we travel. The womb is a very loud place for babies, so having a sound machine is really critical, especially in those early months, to make sure that your baby actually gets some restful sleep. Something else that is a 0 to 6 month must-have is some sort of baby monitor. We have 2 different monitors. We have one that we travel with, and then we also have one that we keep in the house. The one that we keep in the house is the Infant Optics baby camera, and the reason I like this one is because we were able to just buy an extra camera itself for the same monitor. So when we had our second child, we were able to just literally add an extra camera and not have to buy the entire set all over again. Our travel monitor is a VTech monitor. That one was $47, so it's very, very affordable. It does the job just fine, and that's the one we actually have in our bedroom. We have one mounted in our second child's room, but we have one in our bedroom for when she's room sharing with us in the bassinet next to our bed. So that way, let's say we're going downstairs and we want to eat dinner and she's asleep in her bassinet, we're still able to check in on her. That's also our travel monitor for the one that we take when we visit friends and family or when we go on a vacation. The next item that has to do with sleeping is actually going to be sleep sacks. Now, when your baby is able to start rolling, you're going to have to stop swaddling them arms in. It's not safe anymore. So we love sleep sacks. We actually use the Burt's Bees Baby Sleep Sack most often, and it's basically like a wearable blanket. And usually they're called wearable blankets, but it has no sleeves on it, and that way baby can actually still have some sort of warmth in a safe, controlled way. When baby is little, it's really important too to try out those swaddles. Even if it seems like they hate it, I can tell you now, when they're in the womb, obviously they don't have a lot of space. So it might seem like they hate it at first, but I would definitely at least get one swaddle so that you can try it out with your baby. If you're having a baby in the summertime like I am, you're gonna wanna get a swaddle that's not super thick so your baby doesn't get overheated. For us, we really did like the Sleepy Swaddles, which are made by Happiest Baby. And the reason I like those is because not only are they easy, but they allow you to swaddle with arms in. I also use the Love to Dream Swaddles, and a lot of people really like those. My only complaint with that is, with the arms up, some babies are not ready for their arms to be up just yet when you're swaddling them. So I like those Sleepy Swaddles if you are looking for something that's arms in. Of course, the classic Halo is also excellent. Love the Halo swaddles, but the ones that we have personally are actually fleece. The last thing I want to mention on a registry in the sleep category, other than your safe sleep space, is a humidifier. A humidifier is super important, especially in those winter months, to keep your baby's room kind of moist. So we used it pretty much exclusively all the way from November to February or March, and it absolutely paid dividends. So I would definitely invest in a humidifier if you don't already have one to keep in your child's room, and it's doubly important if your child is sick. But a humidifier is a must-have for us. Personally, I like using the Tautronics one. If I can find the link for it, I'll put the link down below. I like that one because you can time it. So I can say, okay, I want you to run for 4 hours and then turn off. Because I can tell you firsthand, when we've run it all night long, sometimes you wake up and it feels like you're in a rainforest, and you don't want that. Okay, let's move on to the bath and baby care category. So in terms of bath items, I actually really do swear by having a baby tub. And the reason for that is that it takes quite a bit of water to fill up enough of your regular bathtub to submerge baby once baby is ready for a bath. Now, if you want to go the sink method, that's perfectly fine. Personally, for me, we really love our turtle tub, which we got from the NICU. That I don't think you can actually purchase, so I would actually suggest getting that Fisher-Price one that has a sling in it that you can actually take the sling out of. The conversion of that and being able to switch once your baby's a little bigger is going to be really, really key. Something else that goes along with bath items is washcloths. You're definitely going to want to have quite a few washcloths. Washcloths you use for everything from spit up to washing during bath time to cleaning up spills and messes to everything in between, washing faces. There's just so many uses for washcloths. I would suggest getting a good bamboo set that has about 8 washcloths in it and just rotating through those. You're gonna need some sort of bath care items as far as skin goes, and that's a really personal decision as well. I would suggest you get the different baby bags, and I'll put a link up here if you have not seen my series on those. Get the different baby bags, test out the different body washes that you get, and pick one that works best for your baby's skin. Something you may not consider to be in the bath category, but I absolutely swear by, is muslin or thin cotton swaddle blankets. The reason for this is when you do a swaddle bath for your baby, I can guarantee you 150% your baby's gonna fight you a lot less on having a bath. And once my second daughter is here, I'm gonna be doing a whole video all about how to do a swaddle bath. But basically, you wrap baby in a swaddle and then submerge them in the water and only uncover the limbs that you're washing at the time. So having a few of those thin swaddle blankets is really important. You should be going home from the hospital with at least one of them, because they'll wrap your baby in a swaddle blanket when they give you baby to go home. I just happen to like the regular old Target sets, but any set of swaddle blankets will work just fine. So let's move on to the baby health category. This one's actually a pretty small one because every baby is so different, and I wanted to stick to really the kind of big must-haves. So as far as big must-haves go, one of mine is actually the Oogie Bear. The Oogie Bear is almost like this little stick, and you can use it to fish boogers out of your child's nose. I know a lot of people swear by the nose Frida, but for me personally, her little nostrils, my daughter's little nostrils, were too small to fit the end of the nose Frida in, and we actually found that the Oogie Bear worked better for us. So I recommend trying out the Oogie Bear if you can. We actually have the nose Frida and we've literally never used it. Maybe if my daughter gets a cold and we need to suck out like thick snot, now that she's 15 months, I bet it would fit in her nose, but when she was a little preemie baby, it would not fit at all. Something else you may not be thinking about just yet is actually teethers. Babies go through teething at different points, and it's really helpful to put some teethers on your registry now so you're not panicking in the middle of the night when your baby is inconsolable and their teeth hurt or they're about to cut some teeth and you have nothing to deal with it. So I would definitely recommend getting a couple of them. My daughter's favorite is the newbie teether, and she likes that one even to this day. So teethers, if you buy them on your registry, you're going to use them all the way up, probably up to 2 years old, because they cut teeth the entire time. Kind of going hand in hand with the health items is actually a diapering item that I love. One diapering item that I love that we have several of is the Oogie diaper pail. So I like the Oogie because you can use any number of bags with it, and it's also metal, so it tends to hold the smell in a little bit better. Now, when you're talking about diapers, obviously if it's full, it's going to smell, and there's just no way around that, and you're just gonna have to get over that. But I would suggest, I like the Oogie personally. If you want to get a diaper genie instead, that's great, you could do that too. Or you could even get those kind of like dog poop bags and put the bags in them and use a regular trash can if you want to go that route as well. So there's a couple of different options, but I would highly recommend you have some sort of diapering solution on your registry if you plan on doing something other than cloth diapering. So let's talk about the feeding category now. So feeding is different based on whether you're going to be breastfeeding or formula feeding or even pumping and bottle feeding. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things I would recommend. Personally, for me, I exclusively pumped with my first child, and I'm going to be pumping with my second child, so I kind of know both worlds just a little bit. I know the experience of having sore nipples and needing to deal with that, but I also know the experience of having to figure out bottles and dealing with that. So my feeding must-haves if you are nursing is you definitely need a nursing pillow or some sort of pillow to help you elevate baby up to where they're going to be able to nurse for you. Personally, I really like the My Breast Friend nursing pillow. I use this one myself, and I think it's a really great pillow. I actually like it more than the Boppy, but we're going to get into the Boppy in a minute because there's a different Boppy that I really like. I like it more than the Boppy because not only can you snap it around yourself, but you can kind of turn it based on how you're feeding. So if you're feeding on the side here, you can turn the pillow to kind of be on your side and be more supportive over there. It also has a water bottle holder if you want to use that. I personally never did. I just kind of set my water on whatever nightstand I was sitting next to, but Still pretty cool to have. I actually have it in my hospital bag. It's in the trunk, ready to go to the hospital with me. The second item that I highly recommend if you're going to be breastfeeding or pumping is some sort of nipple care. You're going to need it. I promise you're going to need it. It can be lanolin, it can be the hydrogels from Medela, it can be all-purpose nipple ointment, and you can actually make that yourself with things over the counter from Walgreens or CVS. Some sort of nipple care. You're going to need it. Your nipples will be sore for a little while. I know a lot of people say, oh, breastfeeding shouldn't hurt. Yeah, that's true, but it will. So at least for the early part, you're going to need some sort of nipple care. Personally, for me, I recommend the Medela Tender Care Hydrogels. Those are very comforting and they really helped me out when I was starting out pumping, and I just was worried I wasn't going to be able to do it anymore because I was just so sore. If you are bottle feeding or you're pumping and then bottle feeding, I highly recommend getting the Papa Blake bottle sterilizer and dryer. That thing has been so clutch and we absolutely love it. We love the fact that we can wash the bottles, stick them in there, and they will be dry when we pull them out. It has been very helpful. We've been running it every single night when we're done with bottles, and I couldn't sing its praises enough. I actually have a full review up here and a demo of it, but I really like that product a lot. Something else that I think is very useful to have is the Boon Lawn. I know a lot of people have seen those. They're kind of small in terms of surface area for the space, but we use that even now for when we give our daughter Alice her food. We put her easy peasy mats on the Boon Lawn to dry. But I really liked the Boon Lawn and I'm glad that I have it. As far as toys go, I would just recommend getting 2 toys. Here are the 2 toys I would recommend that I think are developmentally the best options for you. The first thing that you should get are some high contrast books or cards, black and white in particular. I actually got some Hello Baby Animals books, and my daughter Alice, who's 16 months, even now, she still loves them. So those would be good investments that you can actually show an infant and have that high contrast look for them and then still be able to use them as board books later on. The second toy that my daughter Alice actually still uses too is a mirror. Get a little flip mirror that your baby can look at during tummy time. It's really important that they have that. Now, I didn't include anything as far as like a floor mat or an exercise gym or anything like that because honestly, you can put a towel or a blanket down on the floor and have floor time with that. So you don't necessarily need one. We have the Skip Hop one and it's great. So if you want to invest in a floor mat, you absolutely can, but it's not a necessity. Okay, I have 2 items left that I think you should put on your registry that personally I swear by myself. So the first one is actually going to be the Boppy Lounger. The Boppy Lounger is about $35 and it's a place where you can set your baby down if you need to for a minute, or another thing that you can do with it is side-lying pace feeding. If you're feeding your baby and you need to pace feed them, I found that the Boppy was very helpful for being able to pace feed my baby. So I used the Boppy not only to set down Alice if I needed to use the bathroom really quick and she was in the room with me, but I also used it for pace feeding. Now, this is the part that you might not know about the Boppy Lounger. You can wash it, but it takes an eternity to dry. So I recommend if you're going to get the Boppy Lounger, get a cover from Amazon. So they have different covers that you can get, and that way if there's spit up on it or if they have a blowout on it, you can just take that cover off and put it in the wash and still be able to use it if you need to use it in the interim. The last item on my list is actually going to be some sort of baby carrier. You definitely want to be able to be hands-free from time to time. It is so important, and there's so many different carriers out there. I'm going to be doing a separate video entirely just about baby carriers. So get whatever carrier you think is going to work best for you. Personally, I really like the Happy Baby carriers if you can get your hands on one. They are awesome and they're easy to put on, and you can use them all the way from newborn up to toddlerhood. I'm also going to be trying out the Lily Baby Dragonfly. That's a different carrier that's a little bit more like a wrap but easier to put on. So hopefully that will work out too. But I really highly recommend that you get you some sort of baby carrier so that you can actually do other things when baby just wants to be on you. And that's fine that they want to be on you. That's what the carriers are for. I hope this video was helpful for you to give you some ideas of things that you actually will need for your registry rather than things that are just kind of extra fluff. If you have any questions for me, we have a lot of different gadgets in the house that we used and maybe didn't use enough. So I'm happy to answer them below. Or if you think I forgot something that you absolutely swear by, please let me know too. I'm always looking for new stuff, especially with a second child that's due any day now, and I would love to know what we need to stock up on too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing. I do all sorts of parenting, motherhood, and educational content on my channel, and I would love to have you along for the ride. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.